gonna teach you how to make people feel special around you and how to like instantly befriend people, because it's super important. Like if you want to have fun, you know, it's pretty important to have a lot of friends, and if you want to meet people who are actually going to contribute to your life and, you know, find people who are of high status, you need to be able to make friends. You need to be able to be good at it, because if you're like awkward, you're not going to be able to find, you know, a lot of people who are interesting, I guess you can say. So today I'll give you 3 tips on how to achieve this. The first one is identity change, the second one is assume familiarity, and the third one is you need to act special in order to make someone feel special. So stay tuned, I hope you enjoy. So of course, social skills doesn't come overnight, and just like any other skill, you have to practice them and you have to expose yourself to keep getting better. Because I remember I used to be super awkward. All I did, you know, I would go to school, I would dream about video game, and then as soon as I got off school, I would go home, I'd play more video games, and you know, the only time I really had a break for it was, you know, when I ate dinner with my family, and then I would afterwards go back to playing video games. I would even like ask my family, hey, can I eat by my computer and play video games? Because, you know, I didn't really care, I would just want to play video games. So I was super awkward, I couldn't really talk to people. All I did was just think about video games, and you know, the breaks in school, video games, we played Clash Royale, if you guys know that game, and Clash of Clans, you know, all those like stand-up mobile games. Kind of weird because a lot of people, you know, it's probably even worse for like people who are younger than me, they just grow up with video games and other distractions. So I think a lot of people don't really practice social skills. And it's something that's super important, because you need to be able to having good friends around you and going on like fun adventures and stuff. That's the most fun thing you can have in life. Like, you're not gonna have fun driving around in a car alone, but if you do it with a couple of people, that's going to be fun. Now, the very first tip I want to give you this, guys, is identity change. You need to change your identity to this big confident guy. Because, you know, at the end of the day, everyone just wants like a friend. So if you're that big confident guy who just goes, you know, goes up and talks to people, maybe, you know, dap them up, give them a high five or something, like, people are just gonna be happy. And the way you do this, you know, the way to become this big confident guy is identity change. You need to manifest it, and the way you manifest stuff is, you know, just acting like it has already happened. So if you want to be rich, you need to act rich. If you want to be really good with girls, you need to act really good with girls, right? So you just keep pretending, you know, until, you know, it becomes reality, right? So you fake it till you make it. You wear this costume, and then you keep wearing the costume until, you know, it becomes reality, right? Now, in order to, you know, feel a little bit more confident, you of course need to be comfortable in your clothes, you need to be comfortable with your hair, you need to be comfortable with your skin, and, you know, just how you look. So I recommend just doing a little bit of looks maxing, because it's gonna help you a lot in, you know, the journey. And, you know, if you're doing this around people you already know, and they start to feel like, oh, this is a little bit weird, why is he doing that, and stuff like that, just keep pushing forward, because, you know, either they're going to accept it, or then they're probably not, you know, like the best people to have around. If they don't want to see you grow, you know, if they don't want to like support you becoming a better person, then I wouldn't keep them around. You know, it's up to you, of course. So the number 2 tip I want to give you guys is assume familiarity. I got this from Imangazzi, and it's super genius. The way it works is, you know, instead of like pretending like it's a stranger and all that, right? You know, acting normal and doing the normal things, like the things you're supposed to do when you're in like a social situation, right? The thing you do instead is just like assume you're already friends. Assume that you've already gone through that awkward stage, you know, all the awkward times and stuff like that, and just assume you're friends, right? Joke around them, smile, have fun, and, you know, of course, if a joke doesn't hit, don't be discouraged. Just think as it of like a rep, like a practice, right? You know, when you're in the gym, you do the reps, and every time you do them, you get stronger. So if your joke doesn't hit, it doesn't really matter. You went for it, you made progress. So don't get discouraged, just keep making, you know, the jokes until you guys like find like the sweet spot where your jokes kind of hit each other, right? And, you know, the more you do this with new people, the faster you'll be to like adjust and then find like the spot where you guys like work together. If you haven't already read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, I recommend you read that book, because, you know, it has a lot of tips that you need to do. Like, for example, like this is a pretty basic one, but you'll be like surprised how big of a difference it does. Like, if you just smile more, like literally when you're with random people, just smile more. Like, number one, you look more approachable, so it's easier to have a conversation with you. Number 2, it's more attractive. Number 3, you kind of like, you know, trick the person into they are happy as well, because when you see someone smiling, you become happy yourself. You probably, if you haven't seen that guy with like the guy who just does this and then he starts to smile and you can't like stop smiling yourself, it's because, you know, that's how our brain works. So if you smile, people are likely to smile, and you know, it kind of tricks them into having more fun or like being more happy than they probably are. So if you haven't already, you have to read How to Win Friends and Influence People. You can probably even go ahead and Google all the principles, and you can probably get a lot of knowledge from that. Now the third tip that I have is something I haven't really gotten from a book or anything or online. It's a tip I've kind of developed myself, but it works really well. Act special in order to make someone feel special. You know, you can't really go around and act like the most normal person, make every encounter just like so, you know, mundane, right? You do all the things you're supposed to do. You shouldn't do that if you want to make someone feel special. You have to make, you know, the interaction between you and them, you have to make that feel special. And the way you do that is, you know, act special. Like do some silly things, joke around, make a silly dance, just be like obnoxious, be super annoying or something. You need to be like sassy. You need to be sassy, you need to stand out, because if you do all the things you're like supposed to do, like the social norms, right? You know, people are just gonna, like, you're not going to stand out. People are just gonna see you the way they see everyone else. So if you want to make them specifically feel special, you have to be special yourself. You need to make the, you know, interactions between you and them be special. Do it with like, be a little joking, like jump around, dance, do something that's outstanding. You know, of course, find your sweet spot. And of course you need like an identity change, because if you don't really feel comfortable in your own body and you try to do this and you don't do it with like, you know, the proper effort, if that makes sense, it's not gonna seem genuine, it's just gonna seem weird. Make the costume more and more convincing, or you know, until it's real. Like fake it till you make it. Once you like start to act special in like a not weird way, people are going to have a lot more fun with you, and you're gonna have a lot more fun as well. Fourth, this is a bonus tip. This is a fourth and final tip. If you're ever at like, you know, a party or social event or something and you don't really know anyone, you just need to make one good friend, and then, you know, you and this guy, you have to become very good buddies, because as soon as you've gotten one friend, you get like this confidence. It's kind of weird, but you get this confidence and it's a lot easier to meet more people. So if you're at a party, but who's the nice guy, make that guy your friend, and then it's going to be like a lot easier kind of interact with all the other people. To sum up what I've taught you guys, first off, you need an identity change. You need to make like a costume and then keep wearing that costume until it almost like becomes real. And the second tip that I gave you guys was assume familiarity. Just assume you're already friends, joke around, be special, have fun, right? Because as soon as you do that, it just kind of removes that awkward barrier and makes the connection like much easier. The third tip I gave you guys is act special in order to make someone feel special, right? Be a little bit sassy, be a little bit arrogant, dance around, like sing something, like just go out of your comfort zone, because as soon as you do that, like other people feel more comfortable around you. Because if you do something embarrassing, right, like people just feel more confident around you, because then you don't really seem like intimidating. Like that's the biggest fear when it comes to social skills, like other people seeming intimidating. But if you do something embarrassing, you just seem less intimidating, and people will have like an easier time talking to you. So yeah, that's everything. Aikido.